G'day guys, welcome back to Zapped. My name is Roland and today we're here to deliver you the goods. You guys have been asking for the 0 to 100 times of the Tesla Model Y performance, and today we're going to show you how quick it is. So on Tesla's website you've got it noted down as 3.7 seconds. There's a little asterisk there which is saying that they've subtracted the 1 foot rollout. We've got our Racebox GPS timer, which is essentially a 25 Hz GPS Bluetooth timer, which means that it refreshes 25 times per second. So extremely accurate. So the first video that we'll jump into is going to have the 1 foot rollout off, which means that it's the longer time. So it will essentially mean that it's starting from scratch. And the second video will be the 1 foot rollout subtracted, which is essentially to try and mirror the specifications that Tesla has put on their website. So without further ado, let's go and jump straight into the video. Alright, Racebox is connected. Let's give it a go. Okay, so that first video was 0 to 60 in 2.29 seconds, I think it was, and then the 0 to 100 for about 4.31. Let me know what you thought, but before we do that, let's actually jump straight into the second video. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Alright, and there you have it. Tesla Model Y performance model in Australia, Sydney, Australia. 0 to 100 official time with 1 foot rollout subtracted, 3.8 seconds. So the 0 to 60 in 1.97 and the 0 to 100 3.8 seconds. And you can see that it's pulled about 0.79 Gs for most of the way up to like 60 odd kilometers. That constant torque being pulled all the way up there until it starts to taper off. Now a little bonus segment for all you viewers and car enthusiasts out there. We're going to switch over to a screen recording. Just give me a moment. And so what I'm actually going to show you is the data extract behind the graph from the Racebox. So just information that's extracted from the Racebox, it's populated onto a graph, and I'm going to talk you through exactly what that means and how the car actually performs. And I've got a comparison on my Volkswagen Stage 2 Golf R. So let's have a quick look. So what we're essentially looking at, the red line that you can see over here denotes the speed all the way up to about 100. You'll see the blue line here is the altitude, which I guess for argument's sake isn't too important in this example. But the key thing to look at is this green line here, which essentially talks about the acceleration and the G's that the car is pulling. So you can see constantly from here, as soon as you're leaving, within about the first couple of seconds, you're already pulling pretty much 0.75 to 0.78 Gs all the way through till about 63, 64 kilometers before it starts to taper off. So what that actually means for you is, from a drivability standpoint, the Model Y performance, and I'm sure that there would be something similar for all of the other electric cars out there, that from the get-go it has amazing torque and amazing pulling power. So you'll notice the biggest differences, where I've experienced only for the past few days, is driving through roundabouts. Every time you need to leave a roundabout, or every time you need to slow down and then speed up, this car is just absolutely amazing. And the graph actually really shows you why, because from all the way going up till about 60, which is the general speed limit here in Sydney, Australia, you've got that same level of acceleration, the same level of torque, same level of G's that the car is pulling you all at once. So pretty much it's as Tesla's known for, it's traffic light king. To get from 0 to 60, you'd essentially be using you get that same torque from 0 all the way up to 60 before it starts to drop off. So that instant torque is amazing. Now let's actually just flip over to the next screenshot. You'll see it's a little bit more wavy and the red line isn't as straight, but for the most part the green one is what we're talking about in terms of drivability and how that actually feels like when you're driving. And what you can see here is that even though you're starting, it gradually curves up and it takes almost a good half a second before it maxes out for your top torque as it starts to pull through, and then it kind of starts to taper off after, 45, 47 kilometers. It starts to taper off as it hits 50 over here, and then it continues to go through. So in this car, when you're doing about 50 odd kilometers, you're approaching redline in first gear. And so what that essentially means is it's because it's a ICE or internal combustion engine vehicle, the car essentially is running out of puff for that gear before it switches gears, and that's why you'll see that little area, that little dip over here as you start to go through. And don't forget, whilst you can see that it does pull a little bit higher G, so if we look all the way at the right hand side over here, it denotes about 1 G. So it does pull harder than the Model Y performance, but at the same time you have to understand that from a standing stop-start, this car is essentially on 3,000 or 4,000 revs on a launch control. So if you're talking about everyday drivability, from the traffic lights as an example, are you really going to be in launch control to try and achieve that 0 to 100 time? I forgot if I did mention though, the 0 to 100 in this example here is 3.81, so it's really 0.01 difference, so pretty much negated. It's essentially the same in everyday, in the everyday world. So yeah, that's a key difference. So if this one here, you can see kind of goes up and then down and then up a little bit. It's not as linear, whereas you can see for the electric car, it's straight up almost instantly straight at the maximum torque, and it goes all the way and then it just drops down. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a quick rundown on, I guess, key differences when you're talking about hard acceleration. Just remember, in the examples that I had, the Volkswagen Golf was in launch control in order to achieve that 0 to 100 time of about 3.81, and for the Tesla, you're literally just sitting there. Because you've got regenerative brakes, your foot's not even on the brakes, you're literally sitting there and just planting your foot down to achieve that time. So overall, still a little bit different, but absolutely amazing in terms of where we've come for technology. So hopefully one day we'll get to take this down to the drag strip and then onto the racetrack. But until then, for the time being, I'll probably still continue to make some more videos on the remaining accessories that we've got. I've got a video coming up on home charging and the solutions that I've got, and yeah, there'll definitely be more. Either way, I won't hold you guys up, so thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. It really will help my channel go a long way, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks guys, have a good night.